So you left your job completely and started focusing 100% on your venture?
No, I left my job completely. So I had my idea like I can do some consulting initially, get into something, right? I did not want any investment from anybody. There were some friends who wanted to invest when I said I'm quitting. So I quit and then came out and I started this company. That there only I started. I had a vision that we will be going in a products company, but I want to generate the cash flow. So did a lot of projects and things like that. First 2 years was very difficult, and then side by side we had developed the products in the integration platform as an integration platform. So that's how we started off. They were kind of spending 1 month for making a user manual out. We made it to 3 to 4 days of work. They're extremely happy because they can pick and choose. And then if they don't want, they can change it. They can again pick and choose the other way.
The customization is easy for them? You made it customizable for them?
We made it customizable and easy to operate. So this Google won't do it. This kind of product or this kind of, see, we were doing it initially as a project.
So, but this is integrated with Google's product?
Integrated with Google's product. Okay, so make use of all their Google Forms, their Google Sheets, their Google document. All those things are integrated. And we were using Gmail for communication, delivery and all that. We were generating it as PDF and all that. Right? So all making use of Google products, but this is an integration and automation within that. Google would never get into this thing. So that's the niche area for us. And we caught that and then made our own product. And Google agreed to play that on top of their products. And they came up, that was the time they were making these things popular as marketplaces there.
Our Indian businesses or Indian tech industry runs in very comfort zone. Even the big tech don't take risks.
Exactly. Exactly the point that you're hitting there. See, in general, the Indian companies or Indian people as such, they're getting into this business to make money, right? So this can be common. This can say that you can say it is for everyone who wants to make money. But how quickly you want to make money, right? All services businesses, there's a pressure always there. Quarter on quarter, you need to show growth, right? Month on month, you need to show growth. Year on year, you need to show growth. For people to go and venture and saying that, okay, I will make it big. I will make a big product, right? Something like very unimaginable for the West to do it.
Yes.
Right? So that will require a very deep pocket, deep risk appetite, and the ability to execute.
I want to start a product application for consumers. I means anyone, people who are watching this video, who are interested to make an app. What is the first thing that they have to do? They want to make a global product. They have a very beautiful idea or vision. They want to make, they are interested. What is the first thing they have to do?
Your idea is going to value add your customers.
Okay.
That's the one thing that you need to do.
Okay.
Deep dive before you start on any development activities, design activities or anything like that. Deep dive into your ideas. How it is going to value add to your customers. So when I say how it is going to value add to your customer, first of all, you need to find out what is your potential customers. We call it as ICP, ideal customer profile. What's your ideal customer profile? If those are the ideal customer profile, then how is it going to value add? What problem it solves? So is it a pain reliever or is it a vitamin? Right? So the pain relievers are easy to take than vitamins. Not from the customer point of view. I'm talking about a customer who's in the pain, and if you're giving a pain reliever, he'll grab it. And if customer is already happy and doing it, if you're giving a vitamin C, probably say, maybe I don't need it.
Hi, welcome to Saravana Bhava podcast. Today I will be conversing with Mikesh Subramanian, who is founder and managing director of Jivrus Technology. Jivrus Technology focuses on SaaS products which will integrate and automate Google and ZOHO products. They're actively working with ChatGPT and AI tools also. In today's conversation, we will be discussing about how India is becoming SaaS capital of the world, how to transform an idea into startup, how to sell SaaS applications on Google Marketplace and ZOHO Marketplace. Hi, Mikesh.
Hi.
Hi. So thanks for accepting this podcast interview. So thanks for coming on your weekend. So it was nice of you.
Thanks for inviting me.
Okay.
Thanks for hosting me into this. Okay, it's my pleasure.
Okay. Yes, Mikesh. Tell me about yourself.
So I am a computer science graduate. I have done BSc Computer Science in Adityanara College, Tiruchendur. Then I did MCA in Madurai Kamaraj University, in the university campus itself, that program. So completed in 98. Then I was a campus recruit for Wipro. So that's how I started my career.
Okay.
So Wipro Technologies in Madiwala here, right? And then in Electronic City and all that. So I spent around 8 years into that, grew into senior project manager there.
With Wipro?
With Wipro.
Okay.
Right. And then I thought of like, I've been in services company, let's move into products company and see what is going on there. So went on to a product company called Intech.
Intech?
Intech.
Okay.
So that's a telecom billing products company in the OSS BSS segment. So that got acquired by CSG. And then in 2006 I joined there. 2016 I left, and then I started on my own.
Interesting. So how was your education back in village? How was your education?
See, the education was good. So in terms of establishing the foundation, the education was good. But what we lacked is the awareness in terms of what kind of opportunities are there, right? So unlike today's scenario, so those days we knew very little. There was no internet by then. The only mode of understanding something is newspaper, and the coverage of the newspaper is very low. And the people who can guide in terms of awareness, right? In terms of subject, I had very good teachers, right, to help me out in maths and English. Very good teachers. But in terms of making the awareness, so that awareness was not there in terms of what kind of feature is there, what all things that you can explore, right? What really can make you in a better stage. So those kind of things were not there. So it was not realized unless like we moved into a college. It was pretty late in the education, where to realize that okay, I need to establish myself. I need to make something. I need to grow passion towards something. So that was not there. That is the only thing. Otherwise, the foundation was excellent. That's what I could say. So though it is a village area, right, the foundation of the education was very good.
Okay. What is the difference that you see between you learning from village and your children's learning in city, a growing city, developed city like Bangalore? What is the difference?
And I see a lot of stress has increased here, right? The children go through a lot of stress in terms of learning, competing, and going through a lot of the mental trauma, actually at the young age there, right? What could have been better in the other way is rather than putting so much of stress on the education, could have been a little more fun way of making them contribute, making them present something, making them talk. That could have been better. So even in Bangalore, that is not there. But what I have seen in my days, it was the other way. The education is fine. So you go there for 5 hours, done and dusted. You come back, study probably for 2 hours. You are done. Unless you have a public exam, which is 10th and 12th, you really don't need to study very hard at those times. As long as you're able to listen your teachers well, then you're good. And the couple of days before the exams, you can revise it and then go and do well in the classes. Here the situation is very different. Every day they need to study, every day they need to go on for long hours of practicing something, right? So I would say that the thing is, it has changed a lot, and it is not changed for the good. It is changed towards more of a competition. It's kind of bad competition. That's what I would think of. So it puts them into a lot of stress, unnecessary stress. Added to that, all competitive exams like NEET, IIT, and all that coming into that. So I don't know whether we should be going and talking about like what could be a dream education kind of thing. If I would dream that, I would dream differently. But reality is this. So this is where they are into. So what they are not seeing is the freedom that we had in those days, right? Not too much of studies, a lot of playing outside, outside the house, outside in a ground, right? That is what they are not seeing it today.
Okay. Aren't they curious, because you said in your childhood you lacked only the awareness to different opportunities, correct? You said
Correct.
that's the only thing which you lacked, but your foundation was good, in fact better than or equal to current system, the current education. Your foundation was good, but you're saying it's giving more stress for the current generation when they learn. Isn't it contradicting? Because now they have more opportunities, right? They should be excited, or they can explore anything, because now they know they can make multiple streams of revenue. There are multiple ways to make revenue. They can become influencers, which was not even a category or a career option back in days. So now they have more options. But do you still think they have a lot of stress build up?
See, the thing is, they have a lot of opportunity here, a lot of awareness that has been built, right? But the education system is still almost the same. It's not changed. It's still stressing on, okay, you study, memorize, and write it down. That is still there, right? In lot many places, it is still there. That is one side. The other side, it goes into another extreme, saying that, okay, go to competitive exams like NEET or IIT, which is totally different. What I would look at is a more of what do you call, involving the students in a day-to-day activities, wherein rather than you ask somebody to write a project and present or give it back, ask them to come to a stage and then present it, right? Discuss with the fellow student, right? So this is what I have done, what you have done, explore that, question it, criticize it, and bring that out. So that is what really matters.
Do you think still that system is not there?
That system is not there. Predominantly, it is still focusing on the core education, what they call it as like prepare for exams.
It's more based on theoretical and writing.
More based on theoretical, and then write it, memorize, write it, memorize, write it. Right. So that's what they keep practicing till 10th standard, and then after that they throw them open in competition. Right. So that's again going in a different direction. Right. So if I ask any people, any student, like in the fifth grade or 10th grade, to give a topic and then ask them to talk, they'll struggle today. So what they don't build, or they can very easily build in today's environment, is a collaborative environment where they can talk to each other on a particular topic, right? Or any topic that, for that matter. Or they are doing a lot of project, lot of homework, lot of things that they are doing. They can come and present that, right? So that is what will matter actually in real life, right? A lot of practical knowledge, right? Practical knowledge is not like going into a lab and sitting and doing practicals there. So that is how we did it earlier. So that should be in the field, right? That should be going and talking to people and going and meeting a challenge, a real challenge, and seeing that, at least observing that. And then what is happening there? Okay, so such kind of challenges, if it is there, do I have a different solution for that? So that kind of thinking is very, very less. Promoting that kind of thinking in the education system is not there.
Okay.
So it's more like individual thing, right? If somebody wants to do that, if my son wants to do that, and he has to do on his own, and then he has to go away from the educational system, and say that, okay, I want to try out this. Okay, I want to do some ethical hacking. I want to do some project. I want to try this approach, or I want to write a paper, right? So all those things needs a big change, actually.
Okay. Now coming to I won't talk still about the education, because you, as a father and as a business leader, I want to know more about your perspective. I want to know about the economics of education, how it works. Back in days, how much percentage did a household spend on children's education?
See, back in days, the school education is almost free.
Free. Okay.
Right? So the school education, except for your ability to send, I'm just talking about in general, people's ability to send to school, not hold them back in their business or in their work, right? That, if you look at an opportunity cost, that is the only cost they were spending, right? Otherwise, the education is almost free. The schoolings were like almost free. I'm talking about government schools and all that. And other than that, you need to have some other things, like you may need to buy a note, or you may need to buy a geometry box or things like that, right? Till the schooling, not much of a financial pressure, other than the opportunity cost that they have lost, because back then people thought that, oh, I could have used this people, or this kids, the children, into my business or my work or in my field, right? I would have earned more, right? So that was the thought process by then, right? So the parents who send their children to school, they had to let off that opportunity cost, or they had to pay that opportunity cost to let them go into this thing. So that is one thing. In terms of college, yeah, there was fees. But if you compare the financials of what was required there and what was required, so it's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. The difference is, one is in terms of like, where do you want to put your kids into? So back then, it is obvious choice that you put in villages, right? Obvious choice that put the children into either missionary school or government school, right? It's quite easy. So here, when you come into a city, especially when you are migrating from another place to a city, right? So the option, the first class option is, of course, we all need to agree that it's not the government school, it's the private school, right? Or an aided school. So obviously the choice makes the difference. You make that choice, the cost adds to that, starts from there, right? So it's very different. Like it is not a surprise if somebody is asking 1 lakh, 2 lakh for LKG admission here, right? So it's not a very surprise. It's a very common phenomenon, right? So there are schools which even ask for 4 or 5 lakhs, right? So the what do you call, the ground is very different. The ground back then, where we played, and here is very different. So you cannot compare it, right? So if you are talking about affordability, right? So that is situational, depends on people, right? So I am blessed with more affordability than my dad was affording me into this thing, right? He was like finding it hard for putting me into higher education, right, or supporting the financial thing for higher education. Schooling was okay, he could do that. But here, I feel that I am in a much better place in terms of affordability. But affordability is different from it's changes for different people, person, right? So I cannot talk only for myself. And I need to take the entire society into consideration. So if you compare that and this, then it's very different. That is happening.
Do you think is it worth it? Is this increase in hike in cost, because you said back in days it's almost free, it's just the opportunity cost which the parents were missing. Right now it's quite obvious, nobody's going to look their kids as a resource.
Correct.
It's obvious they have to go to school.
Correct.
Right now.
Correct.
Even in village, I think that's the scenario.
Correct.
If they have this option to go to school, but on contrary, you said the foundation is similar to what you had in days in your school, the learning system, the fundamentals, the fundamentals are the same. Is it worth it right now, the cost for which the education have gone high? Is it worth it?
See, the question is it worth it? I don't know. Is it worth it? But if you ask me, I would not ask that question. Is it worth it? Do you have an option? Do you have a better option? I would say very limited. If I'm looking for, okay, I want my child to be learning in a different way, more experimental way. It is only international school they are getting into, and even then, when they go into 10th standard, 12th standard, it is back into normal, right? So, do you have a different education system? You don't have, right? Do we have a different education system which is helping the kids to grow in creativity, kids to grow in interpersonal skills? I'm not finding it that much here. See, back then I was talking about the opportunity cost. It's not for everyone. My father was a teacher, so there was no problem there in terms of, see, his first priority was to educate the kids. So it's not for everyone. Like, everyone is not like that in village, right? So they had field, they were working on either keeping a shop or as a mechanic or something, right? And they found it, their children could have been doing something else to help. And a lot of people did not send them to school, right? Even at my generation, a lot of people did not send, or they stopped in between and then they took. So that has changed. That has completely changed. That's a good thing. Everybody realized that, okay, this is the way forward, and then and nobody is taking education as a cost, as an opportunity cost nowadays. So, like, at least like till 18 or till college, the people are saying that, okay, we need to put them to school.
Fine. With that, I have another question for you. I want to know, as a parent and again as a business leader, what's your take on this? I know a kid. His father runs a school in Delhi. He's real. It's not an imaginary or a fictional character. He's real. His father runs a school in Delhi. His father is quite wealthy. He's from a wealthy background. From the age of 14, he started making YouTube videos. He didn't went to school. From then, he stopped going to school. He started making full-time YouTube video. He have never given the 10th exam. He have never given 12th exam. It's been close to 6 to 7 years he's doing on YouTube. I was working with him for a brief time in the initial of my career as a influencer management business, what I was doing back in Mumbai. So I met him. He was like 18, 17-year-old, and he's earning close to 1 lakh or 1.5 lakh probably by now. Back then he had like 3 lakh subscribers, 5 lakh subscribers. Now he crossed over 1 million subscribers. So maybe he's earning way more than what he earned back then. How do you see this as an option? Because here, a boy from a very wealthy family, and his father apparently runs a institution, a group of schools and educational institution. He made his son become a YouTuber at the age of 14. Even now, he's a successful YouTuber, having over 1 million subscribers, and he's earning well. How do you see this as a parent and as a business leader? What's your take on this?
See, there are different angles that we can look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one angle to look at is, so his family is well off.
Mm-hmm.
So he's free to do whatever he wants, even if he fails, doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if he's interested in that, he can go ahead and do that. So that's an experiment, which as father and child, or father and children, doing that. Fine,
Mm-hmm.
it's of course fine. So over a long period of time, the line between education,
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, and skill
Mm-hmm.
is going to vanish. As long as you're skilled and you're knowledgeable, you're able to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Nobody's going to ask you that what is your education, what is
Mhm.
that background. But we are not yet there.
Mm-hmm.
We are not yet there. The other angle to look at is, if you are not from a well-off family,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you want to establish something, means you want to have some basic thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to walk into a company for a job,
Mm-hmm.
right? So of course, your friend's case, he would never walk into a company for a job.
Mm.
He would do something on his own.
Mm-hmm.
He started off as YouTube. Maybe he would do many other things,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he would be fine,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you look at somebody who is coming from a background where he needs to get into a job
Mm-hmm.
and he need to establish there to some level,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you need to go and apply into a company, he has to have some basic qualification.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he is very creative and even if he is very passionate about doing something like
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channels or conducting that kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
even if he has skills and all the knowledge there, he may not be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He has to go through this educational system
Mm-hmm.
because he has to establish that, oh, I have basic qualification,
Mm-hmm.
because his father might not have got that kind of background
Okay.
to let him go whatever he
Okay.
wants to do.
So I'll put it in a different way now. Same question. So the example I gave was an extreme case, completely boycotting school, turning childhood into a career, made his childhood a career. He was never qualified. Like on paper, he was never qualified. He haven't graduated. On paper, he's uneducated. His literacy rate is, he will come under uneducated category on paper, but he's well knowledgeable. He have traveled to countries, he can communicate well, he have good interpersonal skill, and he can present things to people. Millions of people watch it. He can converse in multiple language, like Hindi, English, probably some regional language, but mainly he can converse well. That's why he's the YouTuber. So this is an extreme case. But you say there is the opposite. The opposite is, what if a child from not to do well from a not to do well family? So isn't this a better option? Like how about a hybrid system?
I think this is already happening.
Mhm.
At least to certain level, it is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Wherein I would say, wherein people don't have a basic necessity to be filled up by the education only. Only when I get qualified and then I get a job,
Mm-hmm.
I'll get my basic necessity fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
If it is of not that category, right, then people are getting into this,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's why I'm coming to that family well off. It doesn't need to be well off, but they have all the basic necessity.
Mm-hmm.
It is not forcing the kid to go and immediately after the education they have to go and earn something, right? If that is the kind of background that they have, is more free actually. So in my case, I would say that I have let my children to explore a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
right? Apart from the school education, I let them explore a lot of things, let them find out. I'm giving them a lot of opportunity to go and explore that and find out your passion and where you're passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
right? You will be able to choose and then do something around it. So that I have seen a lot of people started doing it, especially the educated people. A lot of educated people started letting their kids to go and pick up what they love to do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or at least to explore and find out what you really love. Right? What's your passion? So just go for it and then try understand what is that I want to do, right? So that is that a lot of people are trying to do. But again, the other side, if you don't have that kind of visibility or that kind of understanding about the education system, right? Okay, so I don't force children to go and take big scores,
Big scores.
big scores,
Big scores.
big rank and all that. So I don't want them to be chasing that. I would rather want them to explore things on their own and understand that what would I love to do in when I get into a stage, what would I love to do for next 20 years, right? Or next 10 years. Right? So try finding out that is not easy. Finding out on their own is not going to be easy. If that is happening, that will be really good. What I have seen is many people doing it. Many educated people started doing that. Let their kids go and do what they wanted, what they want to explore.
So now I come back to your business experience. So I want to talk about your business. I want to let audience know from your own words. Please share from how it started.
Okay, so the basic reason behind starting something on my own is to have my own freedom to explore whatever I want to do. Right? So that's the basic thing. Right? I was in the corporates for 20 years. Right? You get to enjoy your job, but you don't get to define your job. The job is defined by somebody else, right? You can keep moving your jobs, but you have to go within an area. So if I am getting into a telecom billing product company, and I say that no, I want to actually run something on the cloud system. Back then, when the cloud was not so popular, they would say, no, we don't do that. We run billing on on-premises data centers, which is sitting in the telecom companies, right? Back then, now things change. So it is, see, you have a boundary within which you have to operate. So that boundary many times is not easy to break or come out. So the big thing that offered or that gave me inspiration is you get a lot of freedom to whatever you want to do, right? And explore whatever you want to pursue. I tried that way back in 2002. Okay, when 2000 to 2002 kind of side hustle. I tried hard.
So
I tried very hard in terms of preparing some side hustle, and then I can break out to do something on my own rather than getting stuck in a corporate job, right? It's kind of miserably failed. Okay, so maybe back then very immature, like this 2 years into my career.
okay, what was the side hustle? Because back then, because right now, many people in corporate, they want to have a multiple stream of income. They want to, some way or the other, they want to involve in some kind of a side hustle. What was your
So my side hustle was to build a CRM system.
CRM system?
Yeah. So back then, Siebel was the CRM system, which they climbed tall, and it was actually very good at that time. It was a very well thought out enterprise solution. So I was kind of thinking that why not for small companies have a CRM system built, right? So I thought, okay, let me develop, because I'm coming from the engineering background. So I can develop it on my own, or I can guide people to develop that. So I was trying on my own, like, from a solution point of view, from a product point of view, to some extent I was successful. But as like every other entrepreneur who find out very late in this thing, is it's not how you build your product. It is how do you take it to the market. That is where is the difference, right? So back then, this is very difficult to take it to the market and then making them understand. There was no concept called every business needs a CRM system by that. Right. So now if you say CRM system, everybody has CRM system sitting, right? Every business has that. So back then, if you ask that, you actually need a CRM system. I'm happy with spreadsheet. I'm having an Excel sheet running here and there. I'm fine. So it is just difficult to do that, right? Maybe I did not have the background, or did not have the people to take it to a right level, right? So I did not have that much of courage also to just break out of monthly this thing. So that was in 2000 to 2002. That's the time. So right from the beginning, like I can say that, like just after 1 or 2 years into the career, I wanted a freedom, right? Freedom of doing what I want. So then over a period of time, then we had to run with the flow, grow there in the corporate world, get into another company, grow there and manage a big team. All that happened as a corporate flow. But back of my mind, I have been thinking, someday I have to break out and then I have to do something, okay, which will give me a lot more freedom. So if you want me to explain a little more about freedom, what I was thinking about, so I should be thinking about my customers.
Sorry?
My customers.
Your customers.
Yeah.
Okay.
My team. My solution. And myself. Nobody between me and my customer. That's the kind of freedom that I wanted, right? So for me, it was like I never wanted to get into a venture kind of business, investor business. So in 2016, it came into a level that, okay, fine. If I don't start it now, I would not start, because I was starting this. I was crossing 40. So I have been wanting it all the while, and I have been working 14 hours for a corporate job.
14 hours.
Yeah, 14 hours a day. 8 hours into the meeting, and remaining hours to do whatever I need to do. Gets into that. Why not spend 14 hours into business, where you can build something and you would be happy about it, right? And you will have the freedom to do it, and which is what you wanted always. So 2016, one moment sparked. Okay, then jumped into this.
So you left your job completely and started focusing 100% on your venture, or you're doing simultaneously?
No, I left my job completely. So I had my idea, like I can do some consulting initially, get into something, right? I did not want any investment from anybody. There were some friends who wanted to invest. When I said I'm quitting, they said that, where are you going? I'm not going anywhere. I'm starting on my own. So what are you starting? I'm starting a software business. So what is in software business? No, I will figure out. Okay. By then, I see the passion took me to a level that I had built some of the products and frameworks within for our company where I worked. And then I have seen that how to roll it out and how to make it acceptable within the internal customers, right? All that I have seen. So that passion grew. Okay, so I have the knowledge, I have the skill. I'll figure out what product is required. I'll go do some market study, right? Some of the things that I have understood, this areas will work. I'll try it out. Till the time I make money by doing consulting in the same area. I do projects. So that is what I did. So then people said, why are you doing that? Okay, I'll invest in you, right? You take that up, build your products. Okay, by then there was some test automation product I was very famous for, which I had developed and then rolled it out in the company. No, with CSG.
CSG, okay.
Yeah, so it was famous for. So then people who knew about it said, okay, do something, break out from there, and then do something which is related to it. You're so good there, right? And it can be taken into the customer very easily. So I said, okay, that was a deep pocket. I don't have a deep pocket, right? I don't want to take somebody else's money and then do it. So I quit and then came out, and I started this company. There only I started. I had a vision that we will be going in a products company, but I want to generate the cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
So did a lot of projects and things like that. First 2 years was very difficult, and then side by side we had developed the products in the integration platform as an integration platform. So that's how we started off. One thing very initially we have done well is the moment we built a product, we went into biggies like Google
Okay.
and worked out a technology partnership with them.
You reached out to Google.
I reached out to Google.
How did you reach out?
So we have done. We are a small team, right? I myself and 3-4 people at that time, 2016. Then we did something on automation in office management softwares like spreadsheets, Word, forms, and putting those things together. We had a lot of small customers who wanted it to happen. But then the project used to be like 1 month projects, 2 months projects, very short projects. That will give them value and they'll be very happy with that. So we got a lot of expertise there because Google's this kind of office management system or collaboration system are mostly free. A lot of people use
comes
it.
with Google.
It comes with Google.
Spreadsheets, sliders.
Yes.
Meetings.
Yes, slides, Google Docs.
Yeah.
So people often want to put that together, make it work in the ways that which Google is not offering, right?
It's more like an enterprise grade customizable tool.
It's kind of enterprise grade, but a lot of small businesses wanted it. See, when an enterprise wants it, they can go to any big companies, ask them, okay, build it. They will build it, they'll happily use it. When a small business wants it, there's nobody out there to build that. Right? So one of the reasons why we built in this theme of integration and automation is early in the career I have seen, like when I was about to come out, when I was starting these projects, I speak to a lot of people. Most of our customers are from the US. I speak to a lot of people. They have so many systems in place. So do you have a document management system? Do you have office this thing? Do you have a CRM system? They have all this, right? But still, their business processes will not be done very well, will not be realized very well. So if you ask them like why, because this application does not talk to the other application, that application does not talk to other application in the way as much as the business owner wants it.
Can you give an example, like what exactly?
I'll give you a very simple example. A lot of small businesses use Google Forms.
Google Forms, yes,
right? So on submission of a Google form, I want to generate an invoice and send it to my client.
Okay.
How do you do it? Right? So I capture some order information. Every day I get 200 orders. I just want to generate. I am having 2-3 employees sitting together and then making that invoices one by one and then separately and sending it to them, following up them, and then getting it through. How do you want to automate this? If you ask that, big companies would say, okay, I have a CRM system there, so there's a form there, it comes here, and then tasks are coming there. You click it, it generates a invoice, or it generates automatically, it goes. What would a small company do? A 1-person company or 5-person team, how would they do it? They will be looking after their operations or their business, or they'll be building the system, right? So in those cases, we pitched in and said that let's do that. Okay, so see, I'm taking a simple example so that it is easy for the invoicing. The simple example: you have Google form, you have a lot of Google form. You want to generate some document out of it or presentation out of it, right? Or an Excel calculation of term sheet, and then you want to give it to the people, right? Based on what they are ordering. Right? So I do that through a project. We did that, right? And we did that for multiple customers. Then we said, okay, so this is a lot of people require it. A lot of people feel that this space, the integration of multiple things and automating, a lot of people require it. A lot of small people require it, small companies. And Google as a company has opened up these softwares free for a lot of small companies, right? So why don't we go and talk to Google? So that okay, we picked up, we made a product, right? And that was called a fillable document, right? So anywhere you can fill, capture information, and whatever kind of document generation that you wanted, you can make it, and then automatically deliver that, follow up that, everything that can happen, right? With simple configuration of their existing software. They don't need to purchase any other software. So we approached them to Google, and this is what we have, and we have a registered company. We want to be a partner, okay, technology partner. They said, okay. Back then, the technology partnership was not established at that. That's very initial stages. They were only looking at sales and services partner. And so they said, okay, fine, but we don't actually take very small companies into technology partnerships. Okay, so you tell us what is the procedure. These are the procedure, these are the things. You need to give this integration document, this kind of architecture document, this kind of security document. All that you put that, we can consider. Then we went ahead, okay, fine, let's make that thing. And we pitched into them, saying this is what our solution. They liked it. They got the technology partner. So we got a technology partner with Google very early, like I think in 2017.
You started in 2016?
16, and then 2017 we got.
Okay. So you did everything through emails on online meeting, or did you went to Google office in Mumbai or?
In Bangalore. We had to go to Bangalore. This is the old Madras. Madras roads.
You went to the office?
Went to the office, and this is a lot of things that happened over the email also, and went to this place. And they said that once they have taken us into their infrastructure, then they helped us a lot in terms of marketing, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of training us, a lot of things that they did.
But all you had was
just the pre-COVID thing. We used to go to Google office every now and then, get trained or get them into this or get their advice. A lot of things happened.
So out of curiosity, Google is such a big company. They have a lot of products, global products, and they have immense fund. Why did Google accepted to integrate as a partner? Why didn't Google think that they can build that system by themselves? Why didn't they do that? Yeah.
Okay. So that's a fantastic question, right? See, if you look at big companies, okay, they have a targeted audience. They want to build their product in one way. They don't get into very niche area, saying that, okay, I want to stitch this and this in this way. I want to stitch this in this way. So small businesses want to generate document management. I will stitch this way and give it to you. They don't do it. See, we have now gone into, from Google, we have also now partnered with ZOHO.
ZOHO.
Yeah. ZOHO. ZOHO marketplace partner. We have partnered there. Everywhere you see that, they don't go into very niche, because that niche is like product, very specific product for a niche play, niche business, right? I have a small business which will generate documents, user manual for we were working with one of the Australian companies. They were only generating user manuals. Right?
Their job is to make user
job is to make user manuals
for variety of products.
Variety of products, not their own products, others' products.
Probably Chinese electronics.
You name whatever it is, right? And they were into the AC plants. They were setting up AC plants. Companies who are setting up AC plants, for them, they will make user manual. They won't set up anything in the AC plant.
Understood.
Their expertise is, okay, which product they have to choose in this kind of thing and make a complete user manual. Okay, if this is the kind of setup, this is the kind of capacities required, this is the kind of vendor that is required, this is the kind of product that needs to be required. Okay, if I choose all those things, click of a button, I need a user manual out. They were kind of spending 1 month for making a user manual out. We made it to 3 to 4 days of work. They're extremely happy because they can pick and choose, and then if they don't want, they can change it. They can again pick and choose the other way.
The customization is easy for them. You made it customizable for them.
We made it customizable and easy to operate. They were like, okay, they had a lot of templates. See, if you look at the point, because I'll come back to the question that you are asking for. Why Google would not do it? Google would do it. Google would say that, okay, you have a number of templates and merge it together, right? So they were having hundreds or even thousands of templates from different products. But when they made a combination, they had to scan through all the folders. Okay, this is the product I'm using it for the hall. This is the product I'm using for pantry. This is the product I'm using it for these places. How do I put this together? Right? I have to go to that particular folder, pick that up, copy paste here, copy paste there, merge it into this, right? And I make one user manual, I present it. Somebody says, no, I want a little different product here, right? Then they'll say, okay, remove this manually. Again, copy paste that, make another one.
Lot of man hours
went into that. So now what they do is they take this, okay, they ask the client, what do you want? This, generate. Are you happy with that? No, not happy? Okay. Generate again. So this Google won't do it. This kind of product or this kind of, see, we were doing it initially as a project.
But this is integrated with Google's product.
Okay, so make use of all their Google Forms, their Google Sheets, their Google document. All those things are integrated. And we were using Gmail for communication, delivery and all that. We were generating it as PDF and all that. Right? So all making use of Google products. But this is an integration and automation within that. So Google would never get into this thing. So that's the niche area for us. And we caught that and then made our own product. And Google agreed to play that on top of their products. And they came up, that was the time they were making these things popular as marketplaces there. Right? So they had the
Google Firebase.
No, this is then called as Google Apps for Works.
Okay.
That's what they initially called it. Then they rebranded as G Suite, if you have heard about G Suite.
Yeah.
Then again they rebranded now as Google Workspace. So they combine, you would have seen all these products like Gmail.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm subscribing to Google. That's why I asked it. So in a way, I'll be using your tool in it too. Like I've subscribed to Google Workspace.
Workspace, we have subscribed to it. Then you can use our products from there. You can discover our products from the marketplace. In Google's marketplace, we have discovered. We have around 15 products which are listed over there.
So from forms, I can generate invoice.
If from submission of forms, you can generate invoice. See, not only invoice we have. See, that's a starting point. Then we kind of integrate on from a form. When a form is getting submitted, you send an email to somebody for an approval, right? Once they approved, you generate a document. Once the document is generated, you put that into Trello or your project. Trello is one of the project management tools.
Asana,
Trello. So you create that card and then attach it there and assign it to somebody. When it is progressing, you do some follow. All this complete workflow that is triggered from a Google form from your customer is fully automated.
Okay.
Right? You can completely customize. If you look at our product, you can go there and completely customize in terms of what you really want and configure it.
Okay.
Once it is configured, it runs.
So how do Google pay you? Like Google Pay for a yearly subscription of your service, or Google Pay as and when the user subscribe to, let's say I subscribe to Workspace this month. So the moment I subscribe to Workspace, will you get a share, or how?
No, it doesn't operate that way. So see, Google as a technology partner, they allow us to list our products on their marketplace. Okay. And see, ever since we have taken that at that time there was very little players. That market has boomed after that. So I'm talking about like last 6 years. That market has boomed. A lot of players are there. Okay, we are a very prominent player there actually. If you look at the marketplace thing, Google Workspace marketplace, if you look at that, we have a lot of products there. So our products are freely listed there. Once you start using it, we go in a freemium model. Right? If you are a customer your usage is very low, right? Monthly, you just want to send some 20 emails or 30 emails monthly, you will be continuing to free forever.
Okay.
Right? So that way you explore and then you see that, oh, this is useful for my business. Let me double down, expand. So then when you expand it, you will come to us. And then you say, okay, we have some price plans. That is when the SaaS model starts. Software as a service. As you get, as you use more, right, then you need to pay as per what your usage is. So you have to sign up with a subscription with us, and then it goes on this.
Oh, interesting. So it's just a marketplace like a Play Stores.
Exactly. Exactly. See, a lot of people know about Play Store and App Store.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know about there are marketplaces for businesses. Right? So to get into marketplaces for businesses, you need to have some pedigree there. So it's not like you can jump in and then like publish an app there. So you can build any app and publish it here, right? So there you need to have some business use cases, and you should be able to realize business use cases.
Interesting.
So when you have that leadership, when you are able to show that leadership and place there, and people will discover it, businesses will discover you and start using it.
Okay. Your app name is Jivrus?
No.
Jivrus?
The company name is Jivrus Technologies.
Jivrus.
We have a lot of applications. We have fillable document. We have form director.
Okay.
So a lot of applications are there.
There are multiple apps.
Multiple apps. So you can go to the marketplace and search for Jivrus or Jivrus.com. Around 14, 15 products.
Can you spell it? So that
Jivrus.
Jivrus.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can see Jivrus.com.
Okay.
You can go to marketplace.google.com and search for this. You will find in the theme of like integration and automation, you will see all our products getting listed there.
Interesting. So now you are listed on ZOHO Marketplace as well.
Now we are listed in the ZOHO Marketplace as well.
Okay.
So one of the theme, like in terms of, okay, I'll touch base on like where I lacked in 2000 and how I could stand here is the go-to-market. Okay, so we had all agree that I'll take my general this thing as a company. Typically, Indians are not that great in terms of taking it to market. Are not great in terms of designing the products well. Right? So the two things, I would generalize it. If you don't agree or don't agree, I don't care. But I have seen that this is what we do: fantastic development, fantastic engineering, right? And fantastic customer support, customer issue fixing, servicing, everything fantastic we do.
So Indians are good at servicing, development, product
engineering, but they lack at product packaging and marketing. Product marketing. And designing in such a way that, I'm not talking about the architectural designing, that we are good at. The UI design, the UX design in such a way that it is marketable. We lack that skill a lot. Okay, so one of the reason I would say that our educational background is that. Okay, so tracking back to that, we were always taught to think about like how do we implement, how do we develop it. You are given a requirement, you develop it. How? We never got into the level that, okay, so I have an idea, I want to package it and market it.
The creativity is lacking.
So the main distribution channel that I selected for this company is riding on mega platforms.
Okay,
and riding on giants.
Like Google Marketplace.
Yes.
Okay.
So they are very happy to take us on their shoulders and then make us run. So why don't we get on their shoulders and run with them?
Okay.
Right. So that is the idea. Rather than going and making a product on our own and trying to sell it or compete with them. Right. So build something which is useful for people who are already on those mega platforms, but that is creating a lot of value addition to them, to their business. Right. So we built those kind of automation application which runs on those mega platforms. So we have lined up a lot of things, but what we have seen is Google, we have been very successful, and ZOHO, we have started seeing the traction from people understanding that, okay, we can do a lot more things much more easily than using the plain product. Right. So that kind of understanding is coming, and a lot of people are getting into that.
Okay.
So the approach to our go-to-market that we have chosen is, okay, we are not marketing experts, and we don't want to get into a venture kind of business where we can bring in a lot of marketing folks, senior marketing folks. No, we want to market our products. Let's market it, take it on top of the platforms.
Interesting. Got it. I have a question. My question is, you said you're marketing on Google Workspace, uh, Google Marketplace for enterprise or company softwares, and ZOHO Marketplace. How do you see as ChatGPT Marketplace? Because ChatGPT is also producing a lot of enterprise required tools. They are giving subscriptions and they are having these plugins.
Definitely. So do you? It's like asking question. Do you drink water? Yes.
Yes.
Of course, we drink a lot of water. So generative AI is like anybody who's in the technology. Generative AI is like part and parcel of it, and AI is next to electricity, right? So it's like, do you use AI? It's like, do you use electricity? That's the kind of thing that's going to happen. So Chat GPT is obviously a big thing that has happened, and we effectively see from a deployment perspective, we actually use within our organization itself. A lot of us use it, but in terms of integrating, in terms of playing on their market, right? We started integrating it with our existing products, right? We have a product which will generate questions on education, since you are also from the education background. So you choose that, oh, this is the subject, this is the standard, this is the thing, this is the lesson that I want to generate 10 questions or 20 questions, MCQ question, generate for me. It will generate and give you, right? And by working with, this is what ChatGPT will do. But our products are sitting on Google Marketplace. So we had value add people who are there. So you have a Google form. We work with ChatGPT, generate that, make a Google form out to you, and you read.
Okay.
So you basically, as a teacher who is looking at, or as an educationist who is looking at, I want this topic, 20 questions, intermediate level or advanced level, generated, right, on this lesson, focused on this. It will generate and make a Google form and give it to you. All you need to do is just verify that, oh, this is all fine, let me launch it.
Okay.
And if I'm not happy, generate again.
Are you started? Is this
already in production?
It's already in place.
It's already in place.
Okay.
So when ChatGPT came up, we were looking at like, okay, so what all ways that we can integrate those in our products, which is already running in Google, in Google platform. So we put this thing. So a lot of things like, so we do a lot of automation around the Google Forms.
Okay.
Right? As a trigger, as an initiation point. Because that is a very easy initiation point for anybody to roll out.
Okay.
Right? I want to capture something, or I want to conduct a test, I want to do something, or I want to simply collect some information. It's very easy to build a Google form and roll it out.
So I want to go back to early of our conversation. You pointed out a very interesting point, which was at back of my mind. I want to ask this question. You said Indians do not build very good designs, like the packaging or the product UI, the designs, but the technology as a architects or developers or service providers or customer retention or management service company, we are all good, but we lack a design. Is that the reason why we have not produced the super app like Facebook or Snapchat or YouTube? Is that the reason, or Amazon in that case? Of course, Flipkart was there, but now it got acquired. But a global app, there is no global Indian app, right? Is that the reason?
That's one of the reason, I would say. That requires a lot of courage to go and do that. That requires a lot of upbringing in that way. See, if you look at the education system here, or the society here, if you are saying things are changing, but I'm just connecting to my level of my times also. If a person says that, okay, just out of college, I want to experiment something, I want to build a business, I want to do something, right? And 1 year he doesn't generate any revenue, rather he goes on debt, right? How would he be seen in this society? Maybe his family would support it, or at least now they started supporting it. How would be seen in this society?
As a failure.
He will be seen as a failure. In the West, they are not seen as a failure. They are seen as entrepreneurs, right? They are encouraged. Even if they fail and they want to say, okay, I want to just try out corporate job for next 2 years, there are people ready to grab them. Here, it was not like that. Simple example I'll give you. How many people can get married if they are trying, if they're into entrepreneur journey, without much having fancy venture backup to cover them up? Even in today's scenario. How many families are willing to give girl or a boy to the other person who is into this entrepreneurship and burning a lot of cash and chasing a big vision? So that is, I would say that was one of the biggest reasons why India is not produced. Right? That's more of a cultural and social stigma that is attached. If you are, see, the thing is, if you are encouraged, if you are recognized, it would have been easier, much easier. But things are changing. This is one of the main reasons. The second is the not having the best marketing skills. Especially I'm talking about from software background, I'm not talking about from other industry. Especially from software. You don't have best marketing techniques, you don't have best packaging techniques. Right? Either you're not taught in that way, or you never thought that is going to help you, and that's an important aspect. If the society had encouraged people to go and try it out, go try 10 things and fail on 9 things. If you get one, great. Even if you fail on 10 things also, we still encourage you. If the society was like that, people would have thought about this already. They would have gained this skills and knowledge and all that. But things are changing. There are people like Sridhar Vambu, Greece Mathurguda. There are people who are changing. There are people like Suresh Samantha. People are changing. It's not that it is not happening. It is happening, right? And
sorry to cut you there, but still they are producing SaaS products, right? Sridhar Vembu, ZOHO is making business enterprise softwares. Kissflow makes business enterprise softwares, business automation softwares. They are good at that. But how about my question was again making a global consumer technology product like Facebook, like Twitter, like YouTube. China was able to produce it. TikTok, it was shocking. If China can produce a product for West, for the globe, they have produced a global product. Where do we lag? Is this the design? That was my question, but of course you shared the deeper thoughts, like it revolves around social stigma. But even the big tech giants, are they taking a safe ride? Is SaaS their safe ride journey? Like SaaS, I will build a SaaS product. I can make an enterprise grade service product. I'll give very good service. I'll give very good application. I'll build the strongest product out there, better than Salesforce. They are ready to compete. Like in their comfort zone, our Indian businesses or Indian tech industry runs in very comfort zone. Even the big tech don't take risks.
Exactly. Exactly the point that you're hitting there. See, in general, the Indian companies or Indian people as such, they're getting into this business to make money, right? So this can be common. This can say that, you can say it is for everyone who wants to make money.
Mm.
But how quickly you want to make money,
Mm.
right? All services businesses,
Mm.
there's a pressure always there. Quarter on quarter, you need to show growth,
Mm.
right? Month on month, you need to show growth.
Mm.
Year on year, you need to show growth, right? So the big services company, it's difficult for them to go out of this, saying that next 2 years, I may not generate revenue, or I may go in losses, or I may go into a research mode, which I have no idea where I'm going. I'm happy to go there. They can't take that. They'll not be able to justify that to people or the investors or the promoters. They will not be able to justify that. The other side, if you look at SaaS, it is still a safe bet than going in a completely different mode and then inventing a new product. Okay, because I have some knowledge, techniques, expertise, I want to apply that and give value addition to people. I'm bringing in SaaS. I'm still seeing that the money is coming, right? Or it's easy, or it is shorter life cycle to go and reach that money to get back, right? If I need to build, let's say, if I need to build a product on maybe something like the baby AGI in the artificial general intelligence level, if I want to build it, India has the skills, techniques, all that. Do we have people who wants to take that risk and lead that? I don't think so. Right? Once we have that lead, somebody wants to risk it out and take that, we would be making something like YouTube or something like Facebook or something like Tesla or something like the X.AI, which is launched, right? Do we have people who have that level of guts and risk-taking power to do that? Today we don't have. That is one of the reasons that why we are not making such things, why we are not experimenting such things. So we still need money flowing in, right? And if money is not flowing in, we still see ourselves as failures.
Okay.
Right? I'm not saying that I'm seeing myself as failure if I'm not. I'm just trying to little more generalize, saying that as a society, we are seeing people, if they are not generating money, we are seeing them as failure. That attitude changes, things will fall in place. If that attitude changes, there's no pressure in terms of
Have to generate money.
Have to generate
revenue. Have to make a profit.
make a profit. How to do that quickly. Obviously, you need to make a profit. That is what the business ultimate aim is. From a business point of view, make money, make profit.
No, that totally makes sense, because that's how Tesla became successful. SpaceX became successful based on that bold decisions what Musk have taken.
Correct.
Even the ChatGPT founder Sam Altman, he took risk. He needed immense fund to make ChatGPT. Right?
Exactly. So, who in India leads that kind of risk?
Tough. Yeah, it's quite tough.
Name the people.
Probably, but it's quite tough. Yeah.
It's quite tough.
Yeah.
There are people who are trying to get into that. It will take time, right? But the SaaS business is something. It's
a safe bet.
It's a safe bet, and it is India's business now. How 20 years before the services started becoming India's business, SaaS is becoming India's business now.
So we are becoming like a global capital of India's global capital of SaaS.
India is becoming global capital of SaaS. The leaders are from Sridhar Vembu to Grace Mathrubootham. We have Charles B. guys. It's a lot of unicorns that you are seeing in SaaS business. That's continuing to grow, and that's continuing to go. That's a good trend. that will give them the risk appetite. That will give us risk appetite for people to go and venture in, saying that, okay, I will make it big. I will make a big product, right? Something like very unimaginable for the West to do it.
Yes.
Right? So that will require a very deep pocket, deep risk appetite, and the ability to execute. That requires. And that requires a lot of social support, financial support. Right? That will eventually happen. So we don't need to worry about it. So things are changing into place. That will happen.
My question to you as a senior software expert and a business leader, the CEO of a software company, I want to start a product application for consumers. I means anyone, people who are watching this video, who are interested to make an app. What is the first thing that they have to do? They want to make a global product. They have a very beautiful idea or vision. They are interested. What is the first thing they have to do in order to make a global software for consumers?
Your idea is going to value add your customers.
Okay.
That's the one thing that you need to do.
Okay.
Deep dive before you start on any development activities, design activities, or anything like that. Deep dive into your ideas. How it is going to value add to your customers. So when I say how it is going to value add to your customer, first of all, you need to find out what is your potential customers. We call it as ICP, ideal customer profile. What's your ideal customer profile? If those are the ideal customer profile, then how is it going to value add? What problem it solves? So is it a pain reliever or is it a vitamin? Right? So the pain relievers are easy to take than vitamins, not from the customer point of view. I'm talking about a customer who's in the pain, and if you're giving a pain reliever, he'll grab it. And if customer is already happy and doing it, if you're giving a vitamin C, probably say, maybe I don't need it. Right? So you go do a deep dive and find out that what value addition it is bringing in. Is it relieving their pain, or you have a good understanding of their problems, their issues, and you're solving that? Or it was the other way, like, okay, I'll give you vitamin thing. That is also fine, but you should know that where your customer is and what is their acceptability and what level they'll be going. So what is the level of value addition your product or your offering is bringing to your customer? Right? So it's your customer, your solution, that what we are going to do, and what value addition that it is bringing in customer's eyes. You may be thinking that I have a great product. Right? We are good at building products. We are good at developing products, fantastic products, and nobody understands how to use it. I have seen several of this. Okay, I have seen several of comments from our customers saying that I see your product is fantastic, looks great, does a lot of complex things, but I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to get value out of it. That's what he's trying to say. But he says, I don't know how to use it. Right? But it looks like it is doing a lot of complex things. It is really great. In the initial stages, when we thought we were in 2017 time, when we thought we have a fantastic product, it is going to give a lot of value addition to people. When we launched it, the kind of comments that you have a great product, it looks to be doing a lot of things, but I don't know how to use it. Means I don't know what value it brings to me. Right? So if you try the other way and then understand the customer, what value it can bring in, upfront tell the people, this is the value it will bring to you. Right? By started using your product, will they get that value or doses of that values continuously, and they will feel very happy? Okay, great. So will they get that? That you visualize before you do a massive investment into something. That is what, or massive investment,
Time.
not only
Time.
in the financial thing,
Even time.
even the time.
Mhm.
I have personally built so many frameworks and so many products and threw away.
Mhm.
I have developed, like, I used to develop solo. Kind of early days. I'm very solo. Used to build overnight and build this because I learned some technology, this, that, and build something.
Mhm.
Right? It will do a fantastic work, but the only person I can configure that is me. Nobody else can configure it.
It's not user friendly.
It's not user friendly. It cannot be. See, it's a simple terms to say is it's not user friendly. The better way to do it is we don't have a way to take this to customer. We don't have a way to take this to market it. There is a market. We don't know how to take it there. See, if I take it like this and then they say, okay, you are doing a fantastic job, but I don't think I can use this. That's what is the response will come. Your product is doing a fantastic job. You are a nerd. You are doing so many things. Good. I can't use it. It's not for me.
Okay. So that's how it is.
That's how it is. So we are good at doing the very complex things. We are not so good at taking that to customer. So work backwards. Work from the customer. See what will value add to him. Then build your products backwards.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It was really helping because it will definitely help people who want to make this. Because I constantly keep asking these questions to any business leader who joins, because I value all the business leaders as a representative of minimum 50 to 100 people, because the 50 to 100 people depend on these leaders, on their judgments, right? Your team, probably 50 to 100 of them depends on you. They follow your vision. So you're in a way representing 50 people, means 50 working individuals.
Correct.
So your thoughts and value definitely matters the most. So that's the constantly I'm asking these questions. What's your thought? What's your opinion on why we are not producing global application, global consumer products? Because Twitter changed their logo. Twitter was bought by Musk. Facebook is the one bringing the alternative. They already have Facebook. Facebook and Twitter both are social messaging platforms. But Facebook made Thread. Facebook made Thread when Twitter was bought by Musk and when Musk changed the logo to X.
Correct.
So why aren't any other players competing? That was my question that bothers me. That I will definitely ask these questions to all the business leaders who
see, we might be thinking that, see, it is one way that we will be thinking that there are a lot of big players here, it's already established, it's already saturated. No. There could be a person who can emerge from India and make a product which can be much more better than Facebook or Twitter or any other thing that is sitting there. It's completely possible, right? So 20 years before, none of these applications were there. At that time, if you had thought, there were biggies, big companies, they were doing, and we can think that, oh, nobody else could beat these guys. Right? So there are new players who have come and made them wrong. So anything can happen from India. We have a huge potential. Our mindset is changing. Our society is more accepting people. Our society is started valuing entrepreneurs. Right? If this continues, things will happen. And things started happening from services to SaaS products.
To consumer software products,
to consumer and enterprise level products. This will keep growing, keep going.
Interesting.
See, today you can't think about somebody from India coming into space technology and they say that I'll launch a rocket. No, apart from government. Right?
There is no competitor for SpaceX. Yeah.
Yeah, there are people who have done it in the West. In India, today you may think maybe it is not possible, but it is possible. It will happen. Eventually it will happen. There are no players in telecom.
Exactly. Yeah, we have grown in the last 2 decades.
We have grown massively.
Yeah.
There's no much players in fintech. See, look at this. Huge now. Every technological area it will happen. And India is a place to manifest and bring all those kind of outputs. That will happen.
Okay. And more of a, this again revolves around your business. What is the biggest achievement do you think your business have made? It could be financial achievement, it could be personal achievement, it could be changing someone's life, anything. What is that one achievement do you think it's this achievement? I made it because I started my firm. My company have achieved this.
See, in terms of achievement, there are a lot of other things like financial, self-sustaining and growing. We are a bootstrap company. We're able to, this is our 7th year and we're going steady and well. This is all that. What gives immense pleasure, I'll put it the other way, what gives immense happiness to see customers' comments, right? Appreciating us. This has saved huge amount of money, huge amount of effort for us. So that kind of appreciation mails or comments on the marketplace or different platforms, that brings us a lot of happiness to us. When we see that somebody genuinely says that, okay, we have been spending hours of effort into this, now it's a matter of minutes. Or we were spending 2 people working on 2 weeks every time we get into this event. Now it is managed 1 hour. Right? So this is a huge value addition in terms of, one is in terms of money, second is in terms of the effort. The effort that people are spending, now it is upgraded. They are no more spending a mundane job. They are spending much more creative thinking or much more business strategy or problem solving for their business, rather than trying to troubleshoot or trying to set up a system which will work for them. So this is what I feel as a huge happiness or success that we have established. Yes. The comments where people are appreciating us because they are just producing a lot of benefits and values to them. How they have saved money and effort and all that, and they are able to focus on their business.
Okay, I think with that, I've come to the end of this podcast. I really have to appreciate you because you come from a remote parts of India, and this is what Indian is. The reason I constantly pick on education topic is because the technology around us is transforming very rapidly. Our education also has to be more convenient. It was convenient in your days. That's the reason that education gives you liberty to explore. Education gave you confidence to run a business and leave your existing job and switch careers and start your own venture. So I really appreciate your efforts and your thoughts on education and business and entrepreneurship and your as Jivrus achievements. I truly appreciate that, and thank you for participating in this podcast.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling me. It's my pleasure to come and talk to you about this. Thank you for all your questions.
Yes.
So India as a country has a big dreams, and we in India have big dreams. We keep doing well, right? So thank you very much.